down, okay. And everyone just try to open your Jupyter. Okay. I'm gonna create a new class, Python 3. I will choose a name for this one. I'm gonna tell week 2.2, okay? Other allowed to put. Okay. Yes. Today we want to talk about some mathematical math function, okay? This function will help us to work with numbers. Anytime that we work with numbers, we're gonna learn this function if we want to do any mathematical things on our number, okay? Last week we talked about this input, float, integer, and also some function about integer. Okay, this week we are all talking about math function and a new type of data. Let's comment this one with some math function, okay? And if you want, also put the date. Today is June 25, okay? Then each time you return to your code, you're gonna remember that for when you coded this part. Okay, let's create some variable, integer, or float variables, okay? I'm gonna create a variable, call it num1. Num1 equals any kind of number it can be. Okay, the first function that we're gonna learn is absolute value, okay? Absolute value function. What this absolute value function does, absolute value function actually returns the absolute amount of a number. That number can be anything, okay? Can be a negative number, can be like a plus operation or anything else. Let's do that, okay? I want to return absolute value of what? Okay, let me put a negative number. 34 is actually an absolute number, okay? I'm gonna give a negative number. Okay, I'm gonna tell it return the absolute value of num1 and try run it. Shift enter. Okay, it returned 34 to us, okay? It was negative 34 and returning 34. Okay, I'm changing this to a float number, 89, okay? Minus 34.89. And now let's shift enter and run it. It returned that absolute positive absolute value of this num2. Also, it can return the value something like this, 4 minus 9. Okay, let's see what it's gonna return for us. Okay, 5. The answer of this one is minus 5, but it returned 5 for us, okay? The other function that we want to learn, okay, let me comment this one. I want to just write down below here the other function. The other function is power or exponent, okay? The power actually can give, okay, anytime that we use this power function, we need to use 2 value into it. We need to assign 2 value to power function. Like what? num1 and num2, comma num2. We all the time need to write something like this, okay? Inside this variable, you can put your numbers. What does this mean? The first number is all the time base, and the second number is exponent. It say num1 to the power of num2, okay? It does these things for us. Okay, let's give an example, like power 2 to like what? 4. Okay, let's do something like this. It gives us 16. See? 2 to the power of 3.5. Okay, it gives us this number. See, these are all math functions that we need to learn. Okay, we learned this one. And the other one that I want to talk about this, so I'm gonna comment this one, so I don't want to, each time that I run, just keep printing out this number, this function. So I'm comment this one and come down. The next function that we want to learn is maximum and minimum function. Okay, maximum or minimum function. This maximum or minimum function is a kind of compare the value and variables that we have and return the maximum or minimum of that. Also in minimum and maximum, we need to write assign multiple value into this function inside the parentheses like A, B, C, which any one of this like is a variable for an integer or float number, okay? And we want to compare which one is minimum or which one is maximum, and ask this by writing this function, we ask to return the maximum or minimum amount. Okay, let's write maximum. Give an example. Maximum like 367 and 2.9, and this is max. This is supposed to return maximum amount. Okay. Maximum here is 67, okay? For the minimum, let's give an example. Okay, I'm gonna put like 45.5 and what? 30. Okay, the minimum number here is 30, okay? It returned 30 for us. Okay, the next function that I want to explain actually is round. Okay, round function. It is so similar. What round function do? When we have a float number, it round that float number and just return an integer to us. Okay, round what? Round like 5.9. When it's rounded, okay, return 6. Okay, when we round this one, this decimal point is greater than 5. Okay, 5 or greater, then it returns the integer that is bigger than 5. Then I put like 5.2, it returned 5. See? Okay. We're gonna use more math function, but sometimes when we use math function, we need to use some libraries. Okay, let's go and give some example of what I mean with library. Okay, let me use this even variable. I call it A, and it is like 34.7. And the other function is floor. Floor or sail. In math, in the logical math, if you remember, what was the shape of the floor? So the floor is this, something like L, and the other L here inside the parentheses and a number inside. We call that floor, flooring a number, okay? And what was the sailing? Sailing was like this, like vice versa, L, which is like this, and 2L like this, and there is a number inside in logic math, okay? When we give a floor function, we want to use floor function, okay? Actually, here we're gonna see something like from A. First, it gives us error. Anytime that we receive an error, we go back and read our error message. Name floor is not defined. It could not recognize this floor function that I wrote it, okay? There is some math function or more function after this that we're gonna use. we need to import libraries. What mean importing library? This all function, mass function or other function, they are algorithm that already coded and saved in Python, okay? Like this max, they already save it in Python, but not in a library. They're so simple. But the other like functions, like for floor, sailing, or square root, they were coded and saved in math library, somewhere that is special to math function, okay? When we want to use this kind of function, we import that library, import math, okay, like this. And also I come here and mention that library, okay, like this. Math floor, okay? Math.floor command, and then try to run it, Shift Enter. See? Okay, I import the library. This is the library that my floor function was saved to it, okay? And anytime when we run and we want to use a function which is related to a library, we add the name of the library at the beginning like this. We can have different things, but I'm not sure about this. Okay. Let's use, okay, this was floor. Sale is exactly similar to this one, but it's just gonna give a smaller number. No, sale give the higher number, okay. Like floor was that 34, and sale is 35 of this A number. Did you all understand my topic that I was in the logical math about sale or floor? I'm not sure if you studied, but we have in college math, we have this floor and sale, okay? And other one that also we use in, we save it in this math library is a square root, okay? I want to have a square root of a number. I'm gonna use exactly the same thing, math, a square root of function of like 36. Let me give another number, 36, okay? It returned 6 for me. Did you see? It returned the square root of this 36 or any variable that you put in. The other thing, so till here, I was talking about 4 type of data, like a string, integer, float, Boolean, okay? But we have more type of data. We have tuples, lists, sets, and dictionary. We have 4 more type of data, okay? Today, we're gonna learn them. This data type actually can save a lot of value. We can save group of value to these data types. Let's talk about tuples. I think I'm hearing tuples. Yes, it called it tuples data type, okay? Tuples data type. Tuples data types is a kind of data type like a string and other, but with this different that we can save a group of any like integer, float, or a string character into these data types, okay? The first one is tuples. Tuples is a data type that save group of values inside a parentheses, okay? Tuples save data inside a parentheses. Let's write an example. I'm gonna create this variable all the time when we want to save any data type, any value. We create our variable. Let's give a name to it. I'm gonna say my tuples, my tuple, okay? And it is inside the parentheses, and it can be any kind of data. Let's save and put any kind of data that we want. So 2, 3.5, okay, and let's put a char. Char is character. Then in programming, we say char means character data type, okay? And let's save also a string, ABC. I call it ABC, okay? So we create a tuple data type and we saved a few values to it. But what we can do with this tuple? If you remember that concatenation, so still we can do that concatenation, okay? I'm gonna create another group of values and call it my tuple 2, okay? Let's create another one, my tuple 2, and add some other numbers to it, okay, like 4 and this B. And I'm gonna call this one my tuple 1, my tuple 2, okay? I want to add these two together. Like I want to combine all value inside the tuples to the first one, to the tuple 1, okay? This is same concatenation, adding this one to other one. But how we do that? There is a good way to do this. So we're gonna say my tuple 1 plus equal my tuple 2, okay? Let's see what it's gonna do, okay? Now let's print my tuple 2 or my tuple 1, okay? I'm gonna print this one because here we came up and added all values inside this one to the this, okay? And it should be changed now, okay? Print, it should update it. Tuple 1. See? This is now my updated tuple 1, which added all these values to this my tuples 1, okay, group. And okay, what different thing? Okay, here instead directly adding your value, you can also put your variable like this A that I put it here. I can just put a variable like A. Okay, this variable is this one that I created here, okay? You can create your variable, assign some value to it, and put it the name just here, okay? You can also do this one with tuples. The other things that we do in tuples is repetition, okay? I'm gonna comment this one. I don't want to print it out again. Okay, repetition. Repetition is so simple. You can just repeat it like my tuple, okay, 2. Let's put this 2 times what? Times 2, okay? I just, okay, this one times 2, okay? I just repeated 2 times. This my tuples times 2. I'm gonna repeat it 2 times. See? Look at this. Look at the result that it returned. It came up and did this time 2 times for us. Okay, if I say my tuples like multiply 3, let's print it out and shift enter to run. Okay, it's repeated 3 times my tuples 2 group. Okay, I repeated 3 times. And the other one is, okay, what was this one? Okay, this is repetition. Okay, we call this repetition. And okay, that's that indexing. That indexing actually is something really cool, and all the time you need it. So this weekend we're gonna have some practice that you're gonna use all these functions. My tuple 1, do you remember any time that we want to use this indexing and reaching to the like the index value that we have, we use this bracket, okay? This bracket, that means you need to put your index number into it. We said anytime in all programming, we start with index 0. This is like, if we're gonna see what index number these are. So this is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, okay? In tuple 1, in this one, my tuple 1 group, I want to reach to the first index, which is 0, okay? Number 0. And I want to check what number or what value saved in the index number 0. Let's run it. It printed 2, okay? And like for what is 3 in the 3 one? ABC, okay. What value saved in the last index? Do you remember? Still, this last index was -1. Anytime we want to reach to our last index value, we just write -1, okay? And what else? Okay, we said if we want to reach to to index numbers from some index number to the like to 5 or something. Okay, to 3. Okay. It will print 1, 2. Okay, it would not print like 3. It just print 1, 2. Okay. And this was about the tuples. The other one, the other data type that we want to talk about that is a list. List is best one. I all the time use list and recommend you anytime you want to like save a bunch of values like this, use list because we have a lot of function. We can do a lot of things with list. A list actually is mutable. You can change it, the value inside, like you can remove it, add it, but in tuples, we don't have something like that. Okay. List is also a group of values inside a bracket. Okay. Let's create a list. I'm gonna create a variable, call it my list. Okay. Let's put my list 1, like the something that we created here. Okay, my list 1 inside the bracket. Okay, the bracket like this, and let's add any kind of value that we want. I'm gonna put 5, and like what else? 50.2, and let's add a chart to it like A, and let's also add a string like I don't know what, name 1 or some kind of name. Let's give this name. Okay, and I'm gonna create another list. Okay, I'm calling my list 2. I call it my list 2. Let's create this bracket. We open this bracket and we write some value to it. Okay, I'm gonna create this B, and what else? And 4. Okay. Here also in my list we can do that concatenation. Concatenation is same, so it's same as what we did here for this concatenation. Okay, I just do like my list 1 plus equal my list 2. Okay, remember in concatenation, okay, here you cannot put something like this, something like inside the bracket and a value to add your value in it. This means concatenation, okay, in our list and data types. This should also be a list when we concatenate, not a value or variable. This also need to be a list, okay? Now I want to print out my list 1. See, it added up the values of this 2 inside my list 1. This is my list 1 now, okay? No, I want to comment it. let's comment out this one. Okay, let's jump to the next function about list. Is expanding, inserting, and appending. Actually, they do same thing. They in list, this appending, inserting actually do same thing. When you want to just add a value, a variable into your list to this one, so you just use like this inserting or appending. Let's go with appending. So in my list 2, this is a smaller, okay, I'm gonna use this one. In my list 2, I want to add something. I want to append. We call it append function, okay? I want to append a number. Let's put a number into it, like 7. Okay, I want to append this 7 to my list 2. Let's run it, okay? Let's print it out to see. Print like my list 2. I want to see how it changed, okay? See, it adds 7. It adds 7 at the last index position. It adds 7 in the last index position. But we can do something also. Anytime, okay, I want to add a value to my list, okay? But I want my value be at the beginning of my list or at the middle or somewhere that I want. Okay, we can use this insert. We can use insert. Okay, I'm gonna write insert. In insert function, we use two, here we write 2. The first thing that we need to write, mentioning the index position, okay? I want to be index position 0, okay? This is index position 0 and what, like 20, okay? What I'm telling in this line, if we want to write this line, if we want to read this line, we read like this. Insert 20 in the first index or 0 index position of my list 2. Okay, let's run it now. Shift, enter. See, it comes and enter this 20 in the first, 0 position. If I write 1 and just add something else, a character, call it like T. Okay, it add the up T here, okay? And we have other extend, we call extend. Extend exactly do same thing, but with function, not this mathematical operation, okay? Extend do exactly same thing as this line, okay? Because, oops. Okay. Because the second part of it, it should be a list. But this one is way easier than using the other function. Okay. How about if I want to remove something from my list? Okay, for that one, we have this remove function. Easily you can go and remove something from your list. Okay, I will, let me comment out this one and use this remove function. Okay, I'm gonna say my list 1. I want to remove some item from my list 1. Remove. Okay, remove what? Let's remove 5. And then let's print my list 1 to see what changes happen to it. Okay. Okay. See here, we should have this 5. Sometimes in coding, when you want to check your program working properly or not, all the time use this print. Okay, just keep printing your data, okay, before changes and after changes, okay, then you can understand and see exactly the changes, okay. Here, first I want to print out my list 1, and then I came and removed 5 from the list, and then here I change it. Here I printed again. See the difference? Here I have 5, but in this part I do not have 5. Okay, these are all about the data sets. Okay, we learned about the sets, and let's go and learn Tuples List Set. Okay, now there is another data type, set. Set actually is similar, but operation part is different. It's not with function. Okay, I'm gonna comment and learn about sets. Okay, sets data type. This was all about lists and tuples. Let's learn about the set. Set actually is similar again, okay? It's a group of values inside a curly bracket. The difference is that we put it inside a curly bracket this time. Let's create our set. I'm gonna call it my set 1, okay? Equal curly bracket, open and close your curly bracket here. And let's just add some value to it. Okay, I can add 3, add 5.2, and add some string like AB. And I'm gonna create another set, call it my set 2, equal, open and close your curly bracket and put some other value to it, 4.44, okay. I put 44 and a character into it, like D. I'm putting this D character into it, okay? Now what we can do with this set of data, okay? The operation for data set is different. We don't use this like remove and adding or concatenation part. Mostly we use logical math, okay? If I want to like append and add this two, I want to add this two together. What we do, we use this union. Do you remember the union intersection in math? Okay, my set 1. Okay, this is union. Okay, in math we show union like this. The U is faced up. This U faced up mean union in math, and U faced down is intersection in math. It's exactly the same thing. It does exactly same thing, okay? My set, and I can say my set 2, and then try run it. It added up to a collection of data together, see? We call this union, that add two set together, okay? And we want to like, I want to just print out and reach the common value between two sets, okay? I want to tell my program, just print out the value which is common between two sets. Let me write also add here like 3, okay? Then we have some common value. How about just doing, changing this one to AB? I'm changing this one to AB, and we have some common, okay? Common values. Come here and say my set 1, and use this and sign, my set 2, okay? what we call this? We call this intersection. We just print out. See, I run it, and it just printed out the common value between two sets. Okay. What if I just want to tell the program vice versa? Okay, I don't want to print out common value. I want you to print values which is not common, values which exist in like first set but not in the second set. Okay, then we use this minus differences. Okay, I'm gonna say my set 1 minus my set 2. I should go faster to reach the end of the class. Okay. Difference. Okay, we call it difference. Let's print out this one. Okay, let's run it. Shift Enter. It just printed out 5.2 because 5.2, the rest of the value exists in this one and is common, but 5.2 is the only one that exists in this one and not in this one. Okay, this is all things that we can do with set. Because of this, I'm telling this list has more things. Anytime when you want to save values, try to use less. The other type of data that today we're gonna talk about it is a dictionary. Dictionary is something cool, but a little different with this type of data. They were so similar, yep. Just this bracket was different. But in dictionary, we have something different. Dictionary is actually like a dictionary. Let me comment here about dictionaries, okay? And let's create a dictionary. Dictionary is like this. When we have a dictionary, we say like, what does it mean? Like, what does escape mean? It means running away. It's same thing. We have a key and we assign a value to this key. And each time we want to reach, okay, what is the one? What is this value? And it print out the assigned value to it. But also we can save all this value and data inside that curly bracket, which call it dictionary. Okay, let's create a dictionary. I'm gonna call it like my I'm gonna call it my dictionary something. Dictionary group. Let's give just a name, okay? Like my dictionary. I'm gonna call it my dictionary. Okay, dictionary is also values inside a parenthesis, okay? Inside the curly bracket, okay? The way that we can write this dictionary is different. So in 3 different types, you can write it. You can also leave it empty, so your dictionary is empty. You don't assign any value to it. And the common way that everyone writes it is actually like this. We have keys, okay? We have integer keys, okay? I'm gonna create some keys, like key 1, okay? And I'm gonna put a comma. I'm gonna create my second key and put a comma. I'm gonna create my third key and put a, no, this is the last key, okay? I'm gonna assign a value to this key. Okay, I try to assign value so we can assign like names or something else to this, okay? This one, like my first, these are key, you see? These are key. And the value that I assign to this key is called that value, okay? Anytime that I tell my dictionary what is 1, it return Alex. Okay, we can have a like dictionary of fruit. So fruit 1 is banana, fruit 2 is apple, something like this. Okay, what is the key? Second key, let's put like Tina, another name. And I'm gonna say the last one is banana. Okay. And there is other kind of like, we can also mix it, write it in different way, but this is the most common way that we write it. Okay, I can like create another dictionary. Okay, I call it my dictionary 1 and write it like having, you don't have to just have all the time like integer key, but this is the most easiest way that when you want to access to your dictionary and the values that you assign, so you just use this integer keys. But you can also put some like, I wanted to say fruit, and then call assign some fruits to this one. Okay, I'm gonna say like I'm creating a list inside the dictionary now. Okay, I'm gonna say like banana, and I have here apple. Now what I did, I create a list. This was a list, yeah, inside a like this kind of bracket. This is a list. I assign this list to a key inside a dictionary. Okay. Anytime I want to say what is fruit, okay, you need to print out whole this list for me. Okay. I can like add it also more, like write 1. What is 1? 1 is something else. 1 is a kind of like, I don't know, is a kind of car. Okay. And the other kind of dictionary that we can write it is pairing them. Okay. My dictionary 2, I'm gonna say like something like dictionary and open this parentheses, then create my list, which there is like how many pair that you want inside your list. Okay, here the list that we create, you can put as much as pair that we want. Okay, comma. Okay, my Jupiter freezed. My Jupiter freezed again. Okay, let me type. Okay, so let's wait a minute. Come on. Okay, inside this parentheses, you can put like this. Okay, you can put like this 1, then comma apple. That means you assign that apple to your 1, but you made it as a pair here. Okay, I put the example exactly on the a slide. Okay, now I hope my Jupyter start working. The other things, okay, when we create, this dictionary, how we can have access to this dictionary. So it's so easy. The first one, that is indexing. That indexing is, if we all remember, we said that my dictionary, okay. Okay, this is actually the key that I want to enter here, okay. Let me, in my dictionary, what was my dictionary? This one, okay. I want to see what is 2, okay. What is 2? This one. Let's see what it's gonna return to us. Tuple object is not callable. Where did you want to run it? Okay, dictionary. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This one actually, I need to delete it. It gave an error about this one, that this is wrong. Yes, I forgot to tell you to delete this one. If you leave some sentence like this, it's gonna all the time give error. Okay, let's run it again, and it printed out Tina. See, in the second keyword, in the second key here, we have Tina. If you want to just print the third one, it's gonna return banana for us. Okay. The other one, so I want to know the other function is length. I want to know the length of my dictionary, okay? I want to know the length. It's actually same as a string, if you remember, okay? It printed out 3 because we have 3 key here, okay? Did you see? Also, if you want to know your key, so you have a dictionary, okay? Like dictionary, my dictionary, and we want to know what is our keys in this dictionary, okay? We're gonna print out the keys, okay? The keys, see, is 1, 2, 3 here. See, we have this key. And I just want to like print out values, not keys. How about that part? So we're gonna just do same thing, but instead key, we're gonna write values, okay? Values. See, it just printed out values for us. And we reached to this coding font time. Okay, it's almost 3:3. Next week, we're gonna go to looping and if statement and other things that we're gonna learn really good things next week. So for this week, we're gonna finish our class till here before leaving. So I want to explain, some 5 minutes to explain about coding fun time. As I told you, after this, every week, I'm gonna set up a project, a kind of coding practice for you that you go and practice by yourself on your free time, okay? So here, I set it up to if you had any question regarding this coding part, you can next Tuesday, we can talk about that, okay? Here I create 2 practice for you. The first one is guessing your user input. What you're gonna do in this one, I want to show you how to do that, okay? File, new notebook. Okay, Python 3. Okay. You're gonna use that input statement to receive your user's input. Ask your user to enter whatever they want. Okay, who's user? The person who used your code. Go and ask someone to enter whatever they want, okay? And then with all function that you learn, try to guess what your user entered without seeing that value, okay? I'm gonna say my call it something, I don't know, like name 1, okay? Anything that you wanted, okay? And use this one, okay? Tell your user, please enter a name, something, anything that you want, okay? Then when your user press shift and enter to run it, and they're gonna enter something, some like a sentence, numbers, a string, anything that they want, okay? And press enter. It's gonna show it. To hide this part, okay, come and click. See, this green box should be around the line that you are in, and you want to hide it. If you want to hide it to do not see your user input, okay? Come here and then go to cell or view, okay? Okay, go to cell. Current input clear, okay? It hide it for you, but still it save it. And through that function that I teach to you, so for example, you're gonna guess what is the length, okay? I want to see how long is whatever my user entered, okay? And try to run it. Okay, you understand there is 6 characters, 6 numbers, something, and try to understand the data type. Do you remember that type function that I learned? Okay, you're gonna understand what is the type of this name, okay? What type is number, is like a string, anything, okay? And use the other old function that I teach you, and they are in this slides. You can go and read it and use it. This is first practice that you have. Here I explain how to clear your input, okay, value. And the second one, is writing a story about your user, which Tuesday also I little explain it. Use this input function and try to ask your user to enter any like name, age, anything, and write a story. Then insert that values, insert them to your story, and then print it out. Okay, this is to practice that you can do this weekend. Okay, anyone has any question?